And we are live. I'm here with Justin Burlinson, who's just found out that his opponent for Probellum has had to pull out, probably due to an injury. So I'm really sorry that we're talking straight after you've got this news. It's a bit
No, that's all
savage.
right. Yeah, I know. I think, to be honest, I don't think it was cause of injury. I think it was something to do with the COVID or something. I don't think he wanted to catch COVID or something like that.
Oh, okay, with the travel.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. That's what I heard, but it could have been injury. It could have just been something happening in his life. You never know.
Oh, well, I was really looking forward to it. I've got extensive notes on this matchup in particular. So they're all out the window. But this can now maybe act as a good advert for a potential opponent, because you're an undefeated prospect, 5-0, got 2 wins in Bellator. Now this fight's in 2.5 weeks' time, and I expect you're pretty open to opponents at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Like anyone really, just like I haven't fought in a year and a bit as well, so I just, to be honest, I just want to get in there and have a fight.
Yeah. So before we started, we were talking about your Bellator contract, and like you obviously impressed both times that you fought in the Bellator gloves. So I was wondering, what had happened with your contract, because I assumed you'd signed a multi-fight deal.
Yeah, it was a 4-fight deal. Unluckily, I've only had 2 fights on the contract, but obviously the COVID as well. That stopped one of my fights that I was meant to have on May the 16th. On I think it was the London show they had that got cancelled, and then it was I was matched to fight Bobby Pallett, another 5-0 prospect from Liverpool. So that would have been a good fight, but did not.
So how come you've been allowed out of the contract to do this fight for Probellum? Is it because of the situation and how long it's taken for these Bellator fights to materialise?
I think so. Like, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I think it is because of that. Because like it was an 18-month contract, and I've only had 2 fights on it. You know what I mean? Right. So I think my manager was just on the Bellator, just saying like I want him to keep busy, and I want him to start getting some more fights on the go. So I think they let us out to fight in Probellum.
And has your manager got any ideas of an opponent that he might be giving a ring right as we speak?
I honestly don't know yet. Just waiting to see, just waiting to hear back from him. To be honest, but as soon as it's confirmed, I'll let you know.
You seem much more relaxed than I would be in your position. It must be a real pain in the arse to find out this close to fight day.
Yeah, it is a bit like especially thinking like, oh, what if I didn't get the fight after I've just trained all this time? But like the last time we were matched the fight, I actually pulled out like exactly the same, like 3 weeks out from the fight. So I pulled out before, so I kind of be angry at him for pulling out when I did before.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into the Tony Khabib the UK thing.
Yeah, hopefully the 3rd time it happens. You know what I mean?
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So as we were talking about before we went live, the welterweight division just seems to be stacked in every promotion at the moment. There's so much going on wherever you look. I wanted to ask what you thought about Reece McKee getting the call up for the UFC recently, and he'd only just moved up to welterweight, in fact. So I just wanted to get your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it was just a hard fight for his first fight in the UFC. He got chucked in with like a beast for his first fight. You know what I mean? Sometimes that happens. You know what I mean? But some people were saying like, oh, he's too small for welterweight. But when I seen them stand next to each other, they looked like similar size. And I don't think he's too small for the weight. I just think maybe he's just new to the weight and just needs to grow into that weight a bit more. So hopefully he gets another shot and gets the win next time.
Yeah. Well, he'd been due to fight for the welterweight title in Cage Warriors, and as he's left before that got a chance to happen because of COVID, it's now left to Adam Proctor and Mason Jones stepping up from lightweight to fight for that vacant title. What do you think of that as a fight?
I think it'll be an exciting fight. To be honest, I think it'll be a bit back and forth, but then I think towards third, fourth, fifth round, I think Adam will just start to take over, and his size will sort of wear Mason down. I think he'll just maybe win a unanimous decision.
Yeah, I think it's such a good matchup. I'm really excited to see it. And when I was checking out your amateur career, I noticed that Adam Proctor's the only loss you've ever had in, your entire career. I think it was, I can't even remember how many fights ago it was, a long time ago.
Yeah, I think it was me third amateur fight. I'm not gonna lie, he just took us down every round and won every round, to be honest. But I feel like if we fought again, it would be different.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you might get the opportunity to fight again on a different promotion, because I can see you both going a long way in the sport, and that's a matchup I'd love to see again. I wanted to talk to you about your amateur career because you've got like 18 fights, which is quite difficult to get if you don't do like 4 or 5 IMAFs and stuff like that as well. So
yeah.
Was that something that you deliberately set out to get as much experience under your belt before you turned pro as possible?
At first, I tried to just plan. When I'd had like a couple of fights, I planned to just have like 10 fights, and then turn pro. But I ended up having like a lot of fights like in 1 year, and then like a load off the belt. So I had like more. I had 10 when I was still like pretty young. You know what I mean? So I stayed amateur a bit longer, and just carried on to just get more wins and get more experience in MMA. You know what I mean? And I was also fighting K1 at the time as well, which helped a lot just to get a bit more experience on the feet and stuff like that, and just get comfortable in that. It's a better experience at the end of the day. So.
People who watch my interviews a lot are probably bored of me saying it, but I just think it's such a good idea to get as much experience as you can at amateur and fight as often as you can and test yourself against the best people to have like a really good idea of where you really are at before you go into your pro career.
Definitely, I think a lot of people now they're jumping into the pro level like too quick, and they're not having. They might look good against some other amateur fighters who are not experienced, but then it's different. Like I had 18 amateur fights, and then my first pro fight, I still had like a bit of a tough war for my first pro fight, and I think it was that experience that won us the fight. Just learning how to adapt in like the later rounds, and stuff wasn't working, so I had to change it up. And I mean that's how you learn, just by fighting. You know what I mean? You can learn in the gym a little bit, but it's never like a fight in the gym. You know what I mean? So you've just got to get as much experience as you can before you turn pro, because a lot of people are just jumping in too early.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it's as well where people struggle to get fights and then maybe just think, oh, I'll turn pro. But it's just as difficult, if not harder, at pro, I think. We've got a lot of comments for you already, actually.
How do I turn them on?
David Balmer, he said, I'm ready to go now. Who's David?
It's one of my good mates, like who I've trained. That's it. How I started training. I started like a little bit. I was just doing like a little bit of training, but then I went to watch one of his fights. I'd only been training like 3 months or something like that, and like I was a little bit interested. And then I went to watch one of his fights, and then I was like, I knew I wanted to be a fighter after that, just by being at a show and like watching someone who I knew like get in there and winning, like fight and win. You know what I mean? So as soon as I seen that, I just wanted to fight myself. And Dave, he's a really good mate of mine. He's done a lot for us. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's amazing. So you won't be fighting him at Probellum then?
No.
And then Ant Hopper says, David, you're heavyweight. Anyway.
He used to fight at 70 kilos, but now he's about 100 kilos.
Well, he says there's no weight classes on the street. Oh my goodness, you've got a lot of people watching here. Dean Brayley.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
luck,
I know,
Justin.
mate.
Keeping on. Yes, Justin, gives a shout out. That's Jack Graham.
He's one of the local lads.
Eddie Hetherington, great account of yourself, Justin. The world's your oyster. Who's Eddie?
I used to train with him as well. When I first started, I used to train with Eddie, and like some of the local shows that I used to fight on as well. He was always at like some of my earlier fights, so I've known him for a while now.
I wanted to ask about your training because, like, from your Instagram, it seems like you really mix it up and you like to train at different places. And I saw you were down at Team Cowbon helping Darren Till with his camp, and it looks like you get a lot of training in against a lot of different people and in lots of different gyms.
Yeah. When I first started, like about like the past year, I've been at a new gym called TFT at Sunderland. Before that, I was at a different gym, and we weren't really allowed to like mix at different gyms and stuff like that. And we were all just doing like one gym, and then after I left that gym, I've been training a lot more places and just getting different sparring in with different people, like the likes of Ellis Younger from Northeast Jiu-Jitsu, where I train. He's like world level Jiu-Jitsu. I've been sparring with Jamie Bates. He's like number 2 ranked in Glory. Oh no, he's just beat the number 2 ranked in Glory. So it's like just getting different types of training. I think it's just good for your confidence as well. Like to let you know where you are on like against world level people. You know what I mean? So it just let you figure out where you are.
100%. And I think if you're training with the same people all the time, just however good either of you are, you learn to read each other. So I think it's always good to throw yourself in with new people. So you've got to think on the hop.
Yeah. Like when, like obviously you still always spawn with like close. I think you need a good balance between training with people you know and getting like fresh sparring and just to keep you switched on, because sometimes you can get too comfortable with people you know, because obviously you're not trying to like kill each other, and you sort of know their game, they know yours, so you get a bit more comfortable. But I think sometimes it's good to like go somewhere else and get some sparring in. Like when I went down Cowbon, like they like known for like sparring hard like that, but it was good just to get that feeling of like a bit nervousness before like the sparring, you know what I mean? Keeps you like switched on and you're not getting like lazy with your shots and stuff like that. So I think it's good to get a bit of both.
I'm not sure if it's my sound or your sound that's gone a bit funny. There's a bit of interference on the line. It might be the headphones. That's it.
Can you hear it now?
Oh, no, it's gone again.
Is it still the same?
It's still the same, yeah. Maybe if we can you try taking them out and see if that works?
Yeah.
Just getting back on there.
Can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, that's better. Sorry, it was just a lot of interference from people.
Yeah.
Hopefully there won't be too much of an echo.
No, that's all right. It's all right. I know you.
Okay, so let me a couple more shout outs. Jack again is saying he loved the shout out. Pruder says he's #1 go-karting driver. You know it. What's that about?
It was for Dave's birthday actually. Dave went go-karting with like him and some like a lot of his mates, some of my mates. Like just there was about 25 of us went, and Pruder, that lad came first. I came third.
And
It was
Michael
good for that.
Parkin said you're pinching next door's Wi-Fi.
No, that's Mick Party's fighting on there, Probellum as well. The same show we've trained together since I first started. But he always takes the piss out of us because I've never got data on my phone out loud, so he always just. I'm always in Costa just connecting the Wi-Fi.
So let's go back to talking about your training at Team Carbon, because it must have been a really great experience getting to train with those guys. And I know you were a training partner for Darren Till, and I know you also got some wrestling in with Mike Grundy. I can't imagine how exhausting that was.
Oh, like unbelievable! Like I've never felt like that sort of pressure or like technique and speed. Like honestly, I've just never wrestled anyone that good, to be honest. And like just seeing him wrestle other people, it was crazy. Like I felt like I learned a lot, like from just sparring with him and stuff like that. And like Darren and Mike Grundy, like I trained with them quite a lot while I was down there, but they did help us a lot. And whatever I was doing wrong, they would always just come over and correct us on stuff. So it was really good learning experience.
And what did you think of both of their fights in the UFC? Because like Grundy's fight in particular, after training with him and feeling that pressure and like feeling that strength from wrestling, it's even more amazing what his opponent was able to do every time he was able to pop back up in that fight.
Yeah, definitely. I think Mike was a bit unlucky. I think he broke his jaw in the first
Yeah.
round. But I think his opponent maybe just, I don't know, was a bit more efficient with his like cardio stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he was just taking his time a little bit more, and he obviously was really good at getting back up and stuff like that. But I think Mike was getting like really good takedowns on him. But I think when you get a takedown, someone pops back up and starts punching you back,
So
punching you in the face,
demoralising.
it's a bit tiring for you. So
Yeah.
it was a hard fight for him. But I think he's a really hard worker and dedicated.
So tough as well. So tough to get through that fight. Like you said, having such a significant injury in the first rounds, to get through that fight and to keep going. He was chasing after it all the way to the end.
Yeah, he definitely there's no giving up in Mike Grundy. He was there. He was there all night.
Yeah, definitely. I thought it was a really inspirational performance, even though he didn't get the result that he wanted. And then obviously you had Darren Till fighting Robert Whittaker. So how did you score that fight? Did you agree with that one?
Well, people will probably say I'm biased, but I think it could have went either way, to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it could have been a draw. Like when they were reading the scorecards, I thought, it might be a draw because it did seem that close. Like watching it, but maybe I maybe need to watch it back again and without the commentary. You know what I mean? Because that can sometimes sway your mind. And like I feel like the commentary in UFC, they're a bit biased to like American fighters.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just seem really biased. Like English fighters, they seem amazing. They just brush it off as if it's an out.
Yeah, I did get a bit frustrated with some of the commentary over Fight Island, to be honest, but there we go. David said you'll definitely have a new opponent for your fight.
Oh, well, he must know something out of it.
Wouldn't it be amazing if we get off this call and you've got a new opponent already lined up?
Hopefully.
Oh, I can't wait. So one more thing that I wanted to ask you about before we went was you kind of become a meme, haven't you, for one of your post-fight interviews in the cage.
Yeah.
It cracked me up at the time, and I love it now when I see it with all kinds of different captions about being drunk or whatever. Was it Josh Thompson you were talking to?
What was that?
Was it Josh Thompson you were talking to?
I was Josh Thompson. I tagged him in actually, and I thought he might have maybe put a crying face, but he just, don't know, he wasn't saying it.
So I don't know if he can understand your accent anyway, even the
No,
bit that made
definitely not.
sense.
Yeah.
But then when you said, for anyone that doesn't know, you thanked all of your fans and friendlies for buying tickets to come and see you.
I meant to see it. Well, obviously, people probably know, but I meant to see your family and friends. But to be honest, I feel like I got put on the spot, like, and I felt a bit nervous because it was Josh Thompson, and
Yeah.
I don't know, I got put on the spot, and then I said it, and in my mind I was thinking, man, what have I just said that? But and then I just carried on. I just carried on as if there was no wrong. I thought that's happened now. It's on telly.
It was hilarious. I was absolutely in stitches. Jack Graham said, "You need some interview skills, thick as mints, him." With friends like that. But did you expect it to go so viral? Because I've seen that everywhere, that clip of the interview.
No, to be honest, I just put it on for a laugh. I didn't really put that much on Instagram anyways, to be honest, but I just thought I'd just put it on because it was funny. And then, I don't know, everyone did find it funny.
No, it was amazing. It was amazing. Okay, well, this one's a little bit shorter than it was going to be because I had a fair amount of analysis on Conrad that I wanted you to break down, but c'est la vie. I've got every faith that you're going to find another opponent before the 5th of September, and I just really hope it's a good one and one that you're really buzzing about.
Yeah. I think any fight, to be honest, anyone good.
There must be so many people looking for a fight right now. There's so few cards that are happening. So I guess that anybody who's not already signed exclusively to a promotion should get their name over to Probellum or your manager. Anyone who backs themselves, obviously it would be it's going to get a lot of eyes on it. Undefeated prospect, 5-0.
Yeah.
Anyone you've got in mind?
Don't know, to be honest. Anyone? Just. I think it's too close to start like calling people out. To be honest, I think I would need more time like further out before I was calling people out. So hopefully I just get an opponent and then get some more fights on the go. So hopefully.
Fair enough. So we'll end on Craig Carter, who says you're going all the way to the top. Oh no, one more. Aaron Richardson said you want Masvidal.
That's just one of your mates. He loves MMA. He's always sending his MMA stuff.
Well, maybe Masvidal soon. I guess that UFC must be the long-term plan for you, is it, Justin?
Yeah, definitely. Ever since I first started training, I've wanted to be in the UFC. Maybe Bellator might not like you saying that, but that's what I want. So
yeah, it's they're a great promotion, but I can understand why if it's always been your dream to fight in the UFC. So I just really hope that this matchup gets made for you. Get this year back on track, and hopefully you can, if you re-sign with Bellator, get a few more in. And I feel like I'm the curse for you, Justin, because the last time we were scheduled to have an interview, that fight fell through.
No.
You'll never agree to another one with me.
When was that again? Yeah. When was the last interview for again? I can't remember.
Oh, it was a couple of years ago, I think.
Oh, it was a couple of years. I thought it was early on the year for me when I was meant to fight a Bellator, but must have been a different fight.
No, it was way before then. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think it was this one though. The Comrade one.
No.
That would be unlucky.
No.
Well, I wish you all the best with the rest of your camp. I wish you all the best with finding an opponent, and I wish you best of skill on fight night, Justin.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us on the show. It's good.
And sadly, no fans and friendlies allowed at this one, behind closed door event.
And a few people mentioned, because they're saying I was doing the interview, they were like, "Oh, Justin didn't." I'll try.
Well, if you send me the pay-per-view link, I'll put it in the comments so that people can, if you've got a commission code or something, people can buy it through you. So a bit of strange feedback again there.
So you bring it down.
Oh,
I couldn't hear a word you said there.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on with the sound.
You...
I said if you can send the ticket link, then we'll put it in the comments so people can sign up with your code. Brilliant. Thanks, Justin.
I will. Cheers, Katie.
Thank you.
Bye.